Hello everybody, video here for you today. This is the 2023 Washington Commanders free agency recap after 10 days. Today is March 24th, 2023. And so, yeah, it's been 10 days, and so I thought we'd recap what this team has done so far. Also, to let you know, when we look at the players, when you see the amount of experience, it is going to be 1 year behind because this is Madden 2023, which is the 2022 season. And so at the start of that, Terry McLaurin, for example, from the Ohio State University, just had 3 years of experience. Now he has 4 years of experience and has been signed to a long-term contract. Yeah. So why don't we get going with the quarterbacks? Okay. Carson Wentz released, clearing how much? 26.1 million dollars of salary cap space. Carson Wentz, and I don't believe there's any penalty on that. I think he got his bonus in the first year of his contract. Jake Fromm was signed in January, and during this March free agency period, Jacoby Brissett was signed to backup Sam Howell, who's QB1, and Jacoby Brissett will back him up, or maybe can take the job from him. And so we'll see. So not expecting them to do anything else as far as quarterback, but never know. Halfbacks, you got Robinson and Gibson under contract, returning from last year. Patterson was on the team before, and he re-signed in January too, I believe. And the thing about Patterson is he went to high school in Maryland with Chase Young. Jonathan Williams was on the roster last year and signed a new contract for this year. Whoops. Wrong button. Fullbacks. Alex Arma Jr. is signed. He has been on the roster before, but normally Washington uses a tight end for run blocking in the fullback spot. And so it remains to be seen whether they actually keep fullback on the roster or not. As far as wide receivers, got McLaurin signed to long-term deal. Samuel, I think this is last year on his contract, and I think at least in the Madden game, he has zero penalty if released or traded or anything like that. I imagine they will keep him. One thing that wasn't working, it worked the first few times they tried it, but going down the stretch, the wide receiver end run to Curtis Samuel did not work at all. It's just a couple yards whenever they did that. I mean, I guess it made it, gives the team something else to think about, and so maybe you keep that in for a little bit, but a lot of times they ran it and it didn't result in anything. Third wide receiver is Jahan Dotson from Penn State. So we got 2 Ohio State guys, and then right behind them, Penn State guys. So it's Big Ten top 3. Where's Erickson from? Wisconsin. So there's even another one. Although Erickson is going to be more of if he makes the roster, he'd be more of a kick returner. Might play a little bit, though, at wide receiver if he makes the team. And a couple of drafts ago, De'Ami Brown and Milne out of that same draft. So I think set on wide receiver, I wouldn't expect anything to go on without that as far as adding new people. Kemp and McGowan probably cut or will be on the practice squad if, as you can see, Marcus Kemp has a 5-year experience, which in actuality, it's in real time, it's 6 years of experience. And previously on free agency or on the practice squad, you could only have, it could be a rookie or have 1 or 2 years of experience. And then they couldn't be on the practice squad when COVID became a thing. In Pandy, NFL changed the rules so that you could have veterans of any tenure be on the practice squad. And they also up the number of people on the practice squad. And so I don't know if that will continue for this year or not. But it should be good on wide receiver. You may draft one. You never know. Depends on who's available, I guess. Tight ends. Oh, and they signed Kemp is the free agent signing in this group. Wide receivers there. As far as tight end, they may try to upgrade, maybe in the draft or free agency. The main thing that they're trying to do as far as free agency now is supposedly they want to wait till the third wave of it, which means after the draft, I think, and just not try to overpay for people now, and just get quality players later. But back to tight end, Logan Thomas. Madden downgraded him. He was injured and was playing while he was recovering from his injury, and so the team thinks that down the stretch he was getting better. And so they expect him to be fine this year. I don't know if they will try to add a different tight end, but they do have these 3. Actually, one more. There's a few players that Madden never created, and so, but those would be lower ranked than all the rest of these guys. All right, let's see. Okay, as far as offensive line, got Leno and Lucas. Tackle, Norwell. Wes Martin was on the roster last year, and they signed Trent Scott just the other day as a backup. As you can see, 58's a low rating, but they wouldn't have signed him if they didn't think he could play. Chase Roulier, recovering from injury. They think he'll be okay. But Nick Gates, who was formerly with the New York Giants, I believe, signed to either back Roulier up or start if Roulier's injury makes it so he can't play anymore. Also, Larson and Nick Martin, both on the roster last year. Sam Cosmi moves from right tackle to right guard because they signed in free agency Andrew Wiley. I forget what team he came from. As you can see, he's only ranked 73 in Madden, but again, in real life, they must think he could do the job or they wouldn't have signed him. They have 8 defensive ends. Starters are Chase Young and Montez Sweat, of course. Probably just keep 4 or 5 of these guys. So probably Smith Williams, Obata, and maybe Hill, and Bradley King, and Anderson, who was just signed in free agency, and Tony. Practice squad again, perhaps. Again, 5 defensive tackles on the roster. Mathis got hurt last year in the first game and missed the entire season. They signed John Ridgway, and he played well. when he spelled the Bama boys, Allen and Payne. And Bada is, yeah, he could make the roster. You never know, or could be practice squad or cut. But I would assume at least 4 of this group. But no, nothing as far as in free agency. Regarding defensive tackles for outside linebacker, for left outside linebacker, you'd think they would try to upgrade, maybe. One thing that affects that is they skip over to the safeties. Sometimes last year, Forrest, Butler, and Curl, and McCain was here also, but he got released, clearing, I think, $1.2 million. Let's see. I have that somewhere. By McCain, really? $2.32 million. McCain was the starting free safety, but Derek Forrest was playing more and more, and so they could use Butler and Forrest and Curl all at the same time. Jeremy Reeves is a Pro Bowl special teams player. So if you have them playing or more cornerbacks playing, then you don't need 3 linebackers on the field at the same time. And so they possibly could get around it by doing that. They also re-signed Hudson, who was on the team previously. Cody Barton was brought in during free agency. And then a few days later, Cole Holcomb signed with Pittsburgh. So Barton replaces Holcomb. Jamin Davis starting right outside linebacker, and Jerry probably staying as the backup, and then maybe Eifler to the practice squad. Cornerbacks, probably the biggest outside of the backup quarterback in free agency for the Commanders would be the signing of Cameron Tiny Dantzler. Or Exotic Dantzler, I don't know. Just want to do some kind of, he should have some kind of nickname like that. So he's brought in, and young player, and he could probably take the number 2 spot right there. And then behind him, St. Just from 2 drafts ago, and Danny Johnson as well. Holmes, Castro Fields, Wild Goose were on the team last year, and some of them on the practice squad, spent time on practice squad, and then to the roster when they had injuries, and when Jefferson was released. Troy Apke, it would be a special teams player, primarily, probably only. And that looks like that is about it. And Sly and Way on the special teams for kicker and punter. Let's see. Thought there was one other. Oh, I know what I forgot. Trent Scott was signed in free agency. Oh, I did talk about him. Okay, so he was the addition to the offensive line in free agency as they try to get younger on the offensive line. But the 2 signings were him and Wiley at right tackle. So that's about it, and I wouldn't expect them to try to make any big signings. There are some big names left in free agency, like Bobby Wagner, Byron Jones, Ezekiel Elliott. I think the Patriots have interest in him. He is going to be a June 1st cut. And you wait to do that for salary cap reasons. So you split the cap hit between the penalty between 2 different years. Odell Beckham, may still be injury concerns with him. Calais Campbell. J.J. Watt is retired. I should have put him in the retired. But I didn't do that yet. So J.J. Watt retired. Miles Jack. As you can see, these are all good players there, and they are still available. Leonard Fournette, A.J. Bowie, John Johnson III, Jadeveon Clowney. And so Ronald Darby was formerly on the Washington team. Shelby Harris recently cut, like in the last week. And so, I do have this updated roster. I have this on the EA server. You can download that. Show you how to get to that. I don't know if the PC, PlayStation, and Xbox roster or files, community files, are all the same, or if PC is only the PC one, and if Xbox has a different one and PlayStation has a different one as well. But you go to, you slide over with the right button to draft class, wait for that to fill, and then, because it won't go immediately, wait until it fills, and then go to roster. And I should be there somewhere. Where am I? There I am, right there. And I am updating it every day. I have not done it thus far. There's only been one move. There's one move and one re-signing today. One new signing and one re-signing today. Or contract extension, rather. And so there it is right there. And I got 4 likes and 3 dislikes. So can't ask for better than that, right? And quite a few people downloaded it, at least gave it a shot. So cool. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching.